Hello, my name is Dr. Pete Berry, and I am going to walk through how to utilize the P&W HRI herbicide resistance mapping. So the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Resources, and that's going to take us to the herbicide resistance tracking map. And then we're going to click on that tab, and that's going to take us to an ArcGIS Experience work page, and there's a couple different systems that we can assess here. First, I want to point at the top, we've got Home, which will take you back to this main page. We've got Idaho information, we have Oregon information, and we have Washington information. What this does is the same thing as the different state flags. And if we click on one of them, for example, the Idaho information, that is going to take us to the Idaho herbicide resistance information by county. All of the counties are listed, but the counties that are in red are going to be counties that have documented herbicide resistance. And so if we click on this county, for example, Bannock County, we will see that we have a species, Bromus tectorum. The common name is downy brome, cheatgrass, or downy chess. The resistance is group 9, which is glyphosate. And some of the commercial products available that utilize the active ingredient of glyphosate are Roundup, Rodeo, Accord, Glyphosate, Touchdown, and Glystar Original. This information can be used then to understand if you have resistant populations, or if you sprayed glyphosate over cheatgrass and it wasn't killed, and you're in this county, that may indicate that this is also resistant. Now, just because it survived doesn't necessarily mean it's resistant. There are a lot of variables that come into weed surviving an application. For example, the label states that a weed should be 4 inches or smaller. Typically, you're going to want to utilize ammonium sulfate, which could also increase the efficacy, and most products state that AMS should be utilized, or ammonium sulfate. Depending on the weather, the time of year, multiple factors go into it. However, there have been populations that are documented to be resistant to glyphosate within this county. If we want to go back to the top, or that starting point, what we have is the continued list of the different counties. So if we click on Twin Falls, it's going to go down to that county, and here what we have is we have Pasea scoparia, which is kochia. Again, it's resistant to glyphosate, and again, these commercial products that are available that have glyphosate as the active ingredient. If you wanted to know more about this particular weed, you can actually click on the Species tab, and it'll take you to information about that through the NRCS Plant Guide. Go back to the top, and I want to go to the home page. This brings us back to this main page. Idaho, Oregon, and Washington are all set up in a similar manner in terms of what state information we'd want to know. If we did want to utilize a map, we can click on To the Map, and we've got the 3 different states listed, and we can zoom in, and this time we'll zoom in on Oregon. And what we have are the different counties with resistant populations. In the upper right-hand side, we have a list of layers. And currently, all the layers are active, which makes it challenging to read. So what I want to do is I want to turn off layers that I don't want to see. So this I with the cross through it means that we're no longer going to be able to see it. So we have group 1, group 2, group 5, group 6, group 9, and 15 with known documented resistant populations. I'm interested in the group 9, which is glyphosate, so I'm going to turn off the 15. And we also have known cross resistance and multiple site resistance. Cross resistance would be resistance within a group. Multiple site resistance is going to be across different group numbers. And so we'll turn this off as well. So all we have is group 9. If I were to click back over or exit out of the layers, now we can see within the P&W which counties have group 9 resistance. We have a key to the upper right hand side, and anything that's darker purple, we have documented 16 or more populations. Lighter purple, we've got 1 population. And so if we were to click on Benton County, the information expands and it says that we've got 16 counts. We know that it's resistant to group 9, and if we wanted to view this county, we can click on View. It'll automatically take us to the Oregon page, and then we can click on the Benton County. And what we have here is we've got Lolium multiflorum, also known as Italian ryegrass. We've got group 1, group 2, and group 9. Even though we selected glyphosate in the map, we have these cards where it has all the information. We've got the different commercial products for the group 1, group 2, and group 9. There may be other commercial products as well, but this is what we have listed so far. We have cross resistance. We have cross resistance within group 1. We also have cross resistance within group 2. And then we have multi-site resistance where group 1 and group 2 are resistant among each other, and group 9. So resistance, one population is resistant to all 3 group numbers. And again, we have information about Lolium multiflorum if we wanted to click on this link. And again, the different resistance group numbers as well as cross-resistant multi-site within this card. So there are a couple of disclaimers. Cross and multiple site resistance are based on reported information and does not apply to every population. Cross and multiple site resistance could occur in additional chemical families or group numbers, but have not been tested or reported at this point in time. And as more information comes out and more tests are done, we can update these cards. And again, we can go home. If we continue to scroll down, what we have is we have the overall wheat acreage within the PNW. So if we wanted to go to this map, we have the 2022, 2021, and 2020 production acreage, both within an area and by year. And so if we wanted to zoom into Washington this time, what we can do is we can, first on the upper right hand side, we can decide what layers we want active. So right now we have the 2022 files active. And we can see where do we have fallow ground. If we click on and drag around, we can see this. We've got spring wheat in the green. We've got barley in the purple. For example, down here. And then we've got triticale, which is a yellow or orange, which this is an example of what that color looks like. And then finally, we've got winter wheat in the red. And this gives an overall breakdown and area of production within the Willamette Valley. So I can exit out of this. This brings us back into the Pacific Northwest Herbicide Resistance Initiative tracking system. And again, you can base your search off of the flags, off of area, or based on the map depending on what is present. In addition, we have Palmer Watch. And what Palmer Watch is where we have documented Palmer amaranthus in the PNW, at least in terms of Idaho and into Oregon. And as we get more populations, this will be updated to give an indication of where we have hot spots of this weed and its potential move into the PNW. Again, we can exit out of this and brings us back to this home page. If there are any specific questions, again, we can go to Oregon. There are different weed scientists information. We've got Dr. Victor Rubiro, myself, Dr. Pete Berry, and Dr. Judah Barrasso, and that you can contact and ask about resistance, how we can help in terms of screening, and some of the challenges or questions about products that can be utilized. Thank you very much.